When you open practically any parenting book, there's going to be a chapter on attachment. It turns out attachment theory is not a fad. The type of attachment you make to your baby is hugely important because it sets the stage for the type of relationship you will have with your newborn as your baby grows into a child and later a teen and even as an adult. This video is about how your baby bonds with you, how he or she forms a secure relationship with you or attaches to you. Attachment theory has been around for a number of years, really since the late 1960s. It began with a researcher named James Bowlby, and many other people have made contributions to the theory. Let's take a look at attachment theory. The theory states that the way a baby attaches to the parent and the way the parent responds to the baby will influence how the baby will someday relate to other people, how his emotions develop, how his brain develops, what he thinks of himself in the present and in the future, and how he views the world. Bowlby thought that these early attachments between baby and parents resulted in something he called the internal working models. In other words, the baby will build expectations about her care and her way of relating to people. Like, she expects to be fed at a certain hour or cared for in a certain way. These expectations will influence the child's outlook on life as she becomes an adult and how she will someday parent her own children. The strongest attachments are usually formed with the mother, but this is not always the case. Strong and secure attachments can be formed with any responsible caregiver who provides care and who can connect emotionally. Let's look at how these attachments are developed. Attachments are developed in 4 phases. The first phase is called pre-attachment. This is from birth to about 8 weeks of life. During this stage, your baby will learn to recognize your voice and your unique scent. It is through this recognition that the groundwork is set for forming an attached relationship. When your baby cries, for example, the care you provide is recognized by your baby because she associates it with your voice, your scent, the way you hold your baby, and the way you smile at your baby while meeting her needs. During pre-attachment, the unique way your baby responds to you, along with the way you take care of your baby, forge a two-way bond that is the first layer of glue which attaches the two of you for a lifetime. The second phase is called attachment in the making. This phase starts around 8 weeks of life to about 8 months. In this phase, your baby will smile and do unbelievably cute things in order to attach more with you. And when your baby is crying and in need of something, he is more readily soothed by mom, who is usually the primary caregiving figure. During this time, through repetition of caregiving, your baby learns who he can rely on for help. You see, it's the repetition of caregiving that forms stronger attachments. This person or persons are identified by the baby as the one who provides repeated love, connection, and protection. The third type of attachment is called true attachment. Usually by the time your baby is 6 to 8 months old, your baby has identified the person he will attach to. Usually mom, because she provides the most loving care and is most sensitive to the baby's needs. Hold on, dads. Certainly a father or grandmother or even a nanny who is often involved with the caregiving can also be the primary attachment person. Interestingly, research shows us that mothers provide more care, but fathers spend more time playing with the baby. And play forms an attachment that researchers described as pleasurable motor interaction, and that dads around the world describe as fun. Infants will usually turn to the mother when distressed, but prefer to play with the father. So both mom and dad are attachment figures, but for different reasons. The fourth phase is called reciprocal relationships. It happens around 18 months of age and beyond. As the infant begins to develop speaking and thinking abilities, the attachment with mom or dad is strengthened. Around this time, your baby can take the initiative because she is beginning to talk and walk, and she will let you know what she wants in very certain terms. It is during this phase that your baby can begin to interact with you because she can begin to understand your goals and feelings, and you have a better understanding of your baby's needs through 1.5 years of experience. This mutual understanding is why researchers name this stage reciprocal attachment. There are 2 keys to attachment. Repetition is one of the keys in forming a secure attachment or relationship. When you repeatedly provide nurturance and positive actions of caring, like feeding her at the same time every day, these experiences become encoded in your baby's memory, and she will come to expect you to feed her in the future at the same time. This way, you meet her expectations, or as Bowlby would say, you meet your baby's internal working models. That builds attachment. Your repetition of care will literally lead her to see herself as a loved person. The importance of this cannot be overstated. Now, the other key to forming secure attachments is your sensitivity to your baby. Your sensitivity teaches your baby about how other people relate to each other and opens the line of emotional communication between you and your baby. He learns that his drives to connect to others and protect himself are met by his parents. This will possibly enable him someday to establish similar types of attachments to others in his life. So use your mommy or daddy radar to sense what your baby needs and when he needs it. This too builds attachments. Some people believe that babies don't remember anything. That is not true. While specific memories may not be recalled, the way your baby will someday relate to the world and other people is being formed in his implicit or emotional memory by the way you respond to him. These early attachments will serve as a blueprint for his model of how relationships work. If his model of attachment is strong and secure, your baby will grow and explore the world and relate to people in a positive fashion. However, if the attachment is insecure, his model will be one of insecurity. Behaviors which require security, such as relating to other children, exploring his world, and relating to adults, may be more difficult for an insecurely attached child. So the early attachments help the baby write a mental script, which is like a guide for behavior and communication later in life. Also, down the road, at around 2 years of age, attachment connections will enable, encourage, and create connections in the brain, which are important for a toddler's ability to control his own emotions. The terrible twos don't have to be so terrible if you form secure attachments during infancy. Not all attachments between parent and baby are the same. There are different types of attachment. Some are strong, and some can be very weak. These types of attachments were first revealed by Mary Ainsworth in 1978 and have been the subject of numerous studies ever since. The different attachments can be observed in the strange situation observations, where a mother leaves the room, is absent for a little while, and upon her return, the baby's reactions tell researchers much about the type of attachment. So after observing the reactions of the baby and mother when they are first separated, and then when they are reunited, researchers discovered 4 types of attachments. The first type of attachment is called the secure attachment. This is the one you want. The baby may not cry when mom leaves, But upon mom's return, the baby wants to be close to her mother because mom has been emotionally attuned, available, sensitive, and understands her baby's inner world. If the baby is crying when the mother returns, the baby will stop crying when contact is made with the mother. The baby is almost saying, "Gee, I missed you so much, but now that you're here, I can get back to playing," or whatever might occupy the child at the moment. The secure attachment seems to provide the baby with an emotional stability. But this is not a guarantee of mental stability as she grows into adulthood, because other factors, like the friends she will hang out with someday, will also influence her future. The second type of attachment is called the avoidant attachment. When the mother leaves the room, the baby does not appear to be upset. And when the mother returns, there is indifference, or the baby can look away as if to say, "Well, I'm used to your getting up and leaving, so don't expect me to get all mushy when you return, because I know you'll be leaving me again. Pretty soon, I'm going to have to figure out how to change my own diapers." You see, this baby does not expect regular care from his mother because he has not received repeated care from his mother, and so he shows it in a big way. The third type of attachment is called resistance attachment. Here, the baby is angry when the mother leaves him and remains upset when she returns. The baby may even look away upon the mother's return. It is as if the baby is saying, "You keep leaving all the time, and I'm mad as heck about it." The fourth type is called disorganized attachment. This is characterized by the confused baby. She doesn't seem to understand why mom leaves, and upon her return, the confusion continues. It's as if the baby says, "You're supposed to be here for me, aren't you? Or is it that someone else has to be here? Well, someone is supposed to be here. I don't understand this. Is there a toll-free number where I can complain?" Let me sum this up. To form a secure attachment, remember, be sensitive to your baby's emotional and physical needs, and when she needs care and when she needs to be left alone. Encourage recognition by speaking and holding and being close to your baby. Repetition of loving care acts helps form attachments. Be patient. It doesn't happen all at once. Your baby's most basic needs of protection and connection will naturally lead him to seek out attachment with you. He needs your help to understand what he is feeling and how to relate to you. He will establish communication with you through his body language and babble. At this early point, you are in control of the relationship with your baby. So the way you respond determines much of the character of your relationship during infancy and well into the future. If you think about it, the attachments you made with your parents as a baby never really left you. That's why attachment theory is so important in parenting your baby.